But in his mind, the story was so good, just like our friend Jussie Smollett. In his mind, his story was so good. And he also did media. Again, all these people with these terrible stories who were like, I should go do a live interview and incriminate myself.
Prince Andrew.
Don't give any interviews.
Jussie Smollett.
No. Give interviews, including Prince Andrew. More interviews. We need everyone.
Jussie Smollett testifies today. I couldn't believe it. They're saying this guy may be convicted as soon as tomorrow.
Oh, my gosh.
Jussie Smollett. By the time you guys... So we're live right now. We record this. But tomorrow morning, this one's going to go up. And it may be, but by the time you find this video, Smollett has already been found guilty by a jury of his peers. Because it has been a disaster in this case.
Yeah.
Experts were saying the only defense he has is for him to testify. And you got to hear this. If you've not been following this, grab the popcorn. You are going to laugh. So first, this guy claims, the defense, that the Osundairo brothers that he hired, according to the prosecutors, to stage this hoax are sophisticated criminals who framed him. They planned the whole thing, even though he paid them for workout training and then told the cops they were white. They planned the whole thing to frame him. Why? Because they're homophobic and they hate him. Then you get what happens is during testimony, the defense tries cross-examining one of the Osundairo brothers, and the judge said that it was like collateral or something and to move on. And so just get ready for the suspense. The defense attorney calls for a sidebar to speak with the judge, demands a mistrial because they were saying that they're not being properly allowed to cross-examine, then claims the judge lunged at her, demands a mistrial over that. The judge says that's BS. That never happened. And you're not getting a mistrial. And then the defense started crying and left the courtroom with her mother.
The defense
I am
attorney?
not making that up.
The attorney
left with her mother.
What is happening?
I'm going to fact check that.
How is this not on camera? This is a violation of our human rights
Better
that this
than
is
Empire.
not.
We need
I
to
know.
televise.
This is better than
Federal.
Empire.
It's better than Empire.
The whole cast of Empire is watching this like, this show is fantastic.
I would have to say that Jussie Smollett is trying to use the Kevin Spacey defense. If you remember, Kevin Spacey was accused of doing some absolutely horrendous, horrible things to underaged children, particularly boys. And his main defense was, hey, I'm gay. And because of that, the mainstream corporate press literally ran with headlines. Brave actor Kevin Spacey comes out as gay. And that somehow obfuscated the larger accusations, very serious accusations of him doing horrible things to small children. And now Jussie Smollett's main argument here is that he's gay and he does gay stuff. That's his main defense exclusively here. And when that's your defense, I don't think you have a winning case here.
No.
It's a lifestyle, not a defense. And
All right.
It's crazy.
So I pulled this up. We got Breitbart and we got the New York Post. On Thursday, Smollett's attorney, Tamara Walker, requested a mistrial over her claims. Cook County Judge James Lynn physically lunged at her, CBS News reports. Reports say the encounter happened during a sidebar conversation with attorneys from both sides. The judge denied the accusations and also denied the motion for mistrial. Walker reportedly appeared to be close to tears while debating with the judge and left the courtroom with her mother while the rest of Smollett's team continued to ask for a mistrial. Okay, close to tears. Sorry. I said she cried. She was close to tears as she left with her mother. That is Jussie Smollett's defense team.
If your defense lawyer cries out for mommy in the courtroom, that's a bad sign. That's bad.
You know what happened was she went up and was like saying something to the judge and getting in his face, and he went, he leaned at her and went, I am the law here, and got real serious, and then she considered that like an attack. But he's like establishing order.
That's probably exactly what happened. You know? Yeah.
She brought her mom with her.
Why?
Is she like fresh out of law school and like it's her first trial? And Jussie's like, I'm gonna give her a chance, on my life to like lead the defense. The New York Post reports the same thing. She was near tears and she left the courtroom with her mother, who was in the gallery, as the rest of Smollett's team continued to ask for a mistrial.
Did Jussie Smollett hire Elle Wood from
Legally
Blonde? No, Elle Wood from Legally Blonde. And like maybe he's hoping she'll have her breakthrough moment in the courtroom, and she'll realize that he's innocent.
I mean, this is one comment that I'm seeing right now, and it's that Jussie Smollett, the first American to scam Nigerians. And that's what we're finding out through this court proceeding. And I think they have a point.
Good Lord.
But he actually testified, and let's read this from CNN. They say former Empire star Jussie Smollett took the stand in the I'm sorry, they said actor. I made that up. They said former Empire actor Jussie Smollett took the stand in the ongoing criminal trial Monday in a high-stakes attempt to rebut charges that he staged a fake hate crime. They say under oath Monday, Smollett offered testimony over more than 2 hours that suggested the brothers, whom he knew from the Empire set, may have had other motivations. He said Bola Osundairo, who he called Bon, helped get him drugs, including cocaine. He also said they had a sexual relationship between them at a particular Chicago bathhouse. One night while the two were out, and Smollett testified they got a private room and did drugs and, made out. On a separate occasion, Smollett told jurors he and Bola snuck away from his brother after the three were at a female strip club together. Smollett testified again they got a private room and made out a little bit and family-friendly show, had fun together. Let's just... I don't
had relations.
I don't know how this is
You don't
relevant.
need to go that
Imagine
deep.
you're the jury
They
and you're
Jeffrey
like...
Tubin'd together.
What? If you're the jury and he's
that's a
just
good one.
saying all this stuff, you're like, yo, I don't know what this has to do with anything.
This is
Um,
So they say, he kind of creeped me out. Every time we were around him, he didn't speak to me. Every time we needed to leave, he made it seem like we needed to sneak off. After a hate letter was sent to him, Smollett said Bola Osundairo approached him about becoming his personal security guard, something the actor told the jury Osundairo had repeatedly asked him. Following the letter, Bola Osundairo began asking him more about the need for security, Smollett said. The actor described being annoyed at the idea of always having a security detail around him. Around lunchtime, I would smoke my blunt, drive around the neighborhood of the studios. I don't want to be in someone's car. Smollett told the jury that while driving around with Bola, there was never any discussion of planning a staged hate attack. Did you talk to him about some hoax? No, Smollett said. So it sounds like Jussie Smollett's argument is this guy staged the attack because he was trying to convince him to hire him as a security guard. And that's a story. I don't see any evidence to claim that's true because Smollett paid him for personal training. And the idea that these guys were white when that's what Smollett said, which is like he lied,
Yeah. So if they did this to convince you that you needed security, you called the cops, but you didn't immediately point to them that these are the guys who did it. You didn't, and you were still wearing the noose, and you still had your soda and your Subway sandwich.
They did a dry run of this.
Yeah, exactly.
They have the Nigerian brothers go into a store and literally pick up black masks, right?
Yeah.
The rope that they used, and he wrote a check out to them.
Yeah. Well, on tomorrow's show, if he is found guilty, and you have this breaking news for the show, I tweeted a couple of days ago that I think his punishment should be very simple. He should have to go to the next MAGA rally, and he should have to look at the president, Trump, and he should have to apologize.
Oh, snap.
Don't put him in jail. It's a waste of taxpayer dollars for him to go to jail. He should have to repay all of the legal work and the police work that was done
Chicago
investigating
PD
it.
says that they're going to potentially charge him hundreds of thousands of dollars for this larger investigation.
It's a waste of it. He's going to get killed in jail, probably.
I don't think he's going to get...
He shouldn't go to jail. But for those of us people who are in Camp MAGA, who they made a huge deal of this in 19, and he did the whole press circuit, and they were like, this is indicative of the types of people who vote for Donald Trump. For all of us who proudly voted for Donald Trump, who were sick and tired of being besmirched by people like Jussie Smollett, he owes us an apology. And we should get a sincere one, and a sincere one for me is being in front of tens of thousands of us. Don't write us a little letter or do a YouTube video. You have to stand there and face us and listen to us either heckle you or, knowing Trump people, they'll probably give him a little applause and say, get him off the stage.
I just feel like I'm kind of done trying to convince people who are in the cult. The
Yeah.
people who believed this story, the people who believed the Covington lies, the people who believe Russiagate, Ukrainegate, all that garbage, who fell for the lie after lie after lie. And each and every one of those stories has been definitively debunked. The media lied.
Yeah.
What's the point of trying to convince people who want to be lied to that they've been lied to? I mean, Jussie Smollett apparently has supporters outside the courtroom, like cheering for him.
Does
Whatever.
it?
I mean, look, serial
Does it
killers
really?
get it too, man.
Wow.
Serial
Yeah.
killers get letters from ladies who are like, "I love you," so whatever, man. What's the point? I think a regular person hears the story and they immediately just are like, "Yeah, okay, that's BS," and I'm like, "There we go. What more do we need to be saying about this?" I'm glad though, because I do think Jussie Smollett is contributing to the people waking up to what's going on.
Yeah.
Because you had Big Bang Theory with they did the group photo and everyone coming out and being like, I can't believe this happened, and blaming Trump supporters, and it was just very obviously not true.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a frustrating thing because it also does an awful lot of damage to people who are attacked. I don't believe in hate crimes. I don't believe in hate speech. but we use that term. But it does do a lot of damage to people who are victims of crime. You know, and also how many police resources were diverted, right? It's the same thing of like the Bubba Watson incident. How many FBI agents does it take to go investigate a NASCAR, right? If these resources are so limited and so expensive, how many people? Chicago this year just hit its it's your home city. I like to talk about New York as well. Chicago just hit its 800th homicide this year. How many detectives could have been diverted to the streets to whatever, but we're doing the Jussie Smollett investigation, right? So, those are the people who deserve the true apology. You stole resources from a very, very tortured city.
It's true, but I also got to say, like, Chicago's got very serious problems with police corruption, and they've always had. It's been a mob town as long as I've known it, and if you look at history, it's always been a mob town. And I'm kind of like torn between, maybe there could become some cops stopping, some of these gun crimes and homicides and stuff. But then I remember when Chicago operated black sites where they arrested people without charge and held them there for 10 days without notifying anybody, or when that one guy was electrocuting people to force confessions. So at that point, I'm kind of like, I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to give them anything.
We got tracked down by the Chicago PD and had I had a gunpoint to that because of just journalism.
We got surrounded by a bunch of cars. They took the cop cars, unmarked, some marked. Took us out, searched us. It was all completely unwarranted. They apparently raided the apartment we were staying at. A whole crazy story went down. They tried planting drugs on us. Just real dirty stuff. Chicago is a dirty city. I can't remember the guy's name. Do you guys remember the name of the guy in Chicago who was cattle prodding people into forcing them to confessions?
No, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the CPD, man.
Whatever happened to that black site that the Chicago Police Department was running? Do you know much about it? It was Hammond Square.
Is that what it was called? Homan Square.
Homan Square.
Yeah, you looked it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was unmarked location where they would bring people to effectively torture, city at war, man.
Is that still operational?
I don't know. I haven't been to Chicago. I moved out of Chicago 13 years ago. Yeah, 13 years ago. And got rid of
that story broke in 2015.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
It's crazy, right? So, look, man, I like the idea of, the good local cop who's like, look, I just want to make sure people aren't getting hurt. And I've met some of these guys. But you look at some of these big cities like New York, Chicago, and LA, and they are crooked.
Yeah.
Super crooked. New York is super crooked. Chicago's super crooked. The small towns, they tend to be okay, but you still get a lot of cops who are willing to just do what they're told.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Daniel, about I don't think putting him in jail solves anything at this point. But like a public apology might actually do more good for society.
Yeah.
For Jussie, I don't know.
Yeah, well, at least for me, I want my apology.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to watch live, you can check out this channel Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and if you want more unfiltered and uncensored content with all of these guests, go to timcast.com and become a member. All of these guests you know and love in exclusive segments on our website where we are unrestricted in what we talk about, so you'll definitely not want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all next time.